Welcome all. The topic today which we are going to discuss is on how this universe is controlled by the divine. And the divine uses the planets as its agent, and they control the activities on the world. Now one might ask that why should I believe all this? Uh, we are supposed to believe because uh, very scientifically and practically we can understand that two inert objects cannot communicate with each other, or they cannot exchange emotions or experiences, but we see that we human beings are able to experience, we living entities are able to experience the emotions and experiences, and we are able to communicate with each other, exchange love and affection. So all this is happening with lot of things happening in the background. It's similar to the use of mobile phones. Physically, when we observe, we are able to see only few things. I am able to speak with the other person with the help of a mobile phone, but that's not the end of it. There are many things happening behind it. There are towers which are receiving the signal and giving it back to the other instrument. So there are many things happening behind, and these things are being controlled by the planets, and they are the agents. So all this was very uh, finely understood by our Maharishis, or our ancient seers. They understood how this universe functions, what we are actually supposed to do for smooth functioning of the world, and this is what is being explained in the scriptures. So the first thing which we have to understand, that the planets on their own do not affect us. We all know, we have read about astrology and many things, and we come to a wrong conclusion that the planets affect us. The planets directly do not affect us. They affect us because we have created such thoughts and actions, and these planets grab these actions and thoughts and they give it back to us. So they are only uh, acting like the towers, acting like the tower signals. Towers, the function done by a tower is equivalent to a planet. So our deeds and our actions are coming back to us, and this is what we call as law of karma. Because how does this law of karma work? Every action has an equivalent and opposite reaction. How does this actually work? Say suppose I kick a football, so when I move my legs and hit the ball moves to the other side. Now physically seeing, it's a very simple thing, but if we start giving uh, much more thought to it, we will understand that it is the cause and effect relationship. The energy with which I moved my foot and hit the ball, that is what is going to decide uh, the distance to which the ball is going to move. To the level of distance the ball is going to move. So it is all interlinked and correlated. So now this universe is made up of three kinds of qualities, which we all know. We would have heard from many people saying sattva, rajas and tamas, and it's combination of all the three. Every individual has these qualities, and if I am going to use more of my negative qualities or the ignorant qualities, then naturally the results which I would receive would also be negative. When I'm going to use my passionate qualities, then initially I get temporary happiness, but in later stages I face the consequences. And when a person acts in the mode of goodness, or does activities for the benefit of the whole creation, whole manifested universe, then he not only is happy during that period, he also gains the reward of his actions in the later stages of life. Now, how is that this works? Say suppose, for example, I see a person who has fallen down on the road. Now the dharma says that if a person is injured, he is supposed to be uh, taken care, and he should be taken to the hospital or the doctor. Now I do that activity with the faith that this is dharma and this would please the creation, or this would please God, because that's humanity, that's dharma. Now maybe I might not be rewarded for this activity in terms of material benefit, or maybe in terms of money in today's world, but this act of dharma is going to protect me, and it will help me grow spiritually. And why are we supposed to grow spiritually? Why not enjoy the world as others do? Why not have all the material things and enjoy this world? In reality, our spiritual growth is highly essential, because the happiness what we get here is temporary in nature, because we are going to grow old, and in old age we know there are a lot of problems. Our body does not function the way we want it to function, so we get frustrated. And since we do not understand the reality that we are beyond this body, we are not able to manage such a situation. So what is the ultimate goal is, somehow I should make sure that I shouldn't get a material body once again. So this happens only by performing good deeds, only by performing deeds as per the scriptures, as per dharma. When I do things as a service, uh, in devotion and love to the community, to the society, with an understanding that it is the divine within me which is making all this happen, then I grow spiritually. I grow on the level of dharma, and this dharma is going to uh, pick me up from the material level of consciousness to higher levels of consciousness, and ultimately I grow spiritually and get to a stage where I need not take birth once again. Now, all this seems to be a kind of theory, but how to prove it practically? Now, practically, it can be proved by observing the nature, observing the world around us. We see many people who are handicapped, without eyesight, who do not have speech, who have uh, everybody normally, but they're mentally retarded. Now, why all these things happen? Many of us would again come to a conclusion that, well, it's all effect of the planet. Planets do not affect us directly. They affect us because we have done such deeds. So if a person has criticized someone who is a lunatic, or someone who is suffering from mental disorder due to his karma, then all those karmas come to the person who has criticized him. Yes, it is true that uh, it is difficult to manage a person who is a lunatic, but we are not supposed to criticize him unnecessarily. So when such activities are done, even uh, for people who are begging, we are not supposed to curse them or criticize